Meta is reporting earnings on Wednesday after the market closes, and let's go ahead and talk about it. I hope that you learned something new, and if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like I earned it. With that being said, what is the market's expectation for Meta's earnings? Earnings per share is expected to be $5.85. When it comes down to the history of Meta, Meta is not one of those BS overhyped up stocks that never actually meets expectation. Meta is a well-run business. It's a very profitable business, and its EPS has an amazing track record. With that being said, there is no with that being said. It does always a really good job of reporting EPS and revenue expected to be 44.72 billion. I mean, look at the track record. Like, it's so impressive. Now, does that mean that every time that it beats market's expectation, that it always gaps up? No, the thing that I like about investing.com is that it also shows you the reaction of what it closed at after it reported earnings. So as you can see, a 7.74% decline, 11% decline, and 4% decline has been the reaction in the past before. But again, most often it does end up in the green. Now, one thing that I do want to take into consideration is the times that it has pulled on back are during very strong rallies. Then it reports earnings, and because the rally factors things in advance, we could often see a pullback shortly after. That's not to scare you. Of course, no one can predict the future. I just want you to be aware of what it's expected and what it tends to do. And very quickly, the thing that I also want to highlight is, where does Meta stand, right? On a technical analysis standpoint, when we look at Meta and we look at this on the day chart, it's an incredible company fundamentally and technically as well. It went from lows of $87 per share after the post-pandemic sell-off of 2022 to 2023. It found its support at $87, and it's been a rocket ever since. During the trade war, it did decline pretty aggressively, just so you guys can see. It did retrace 34%. So anytime that it does rally really strong, if it does become overvalued or overbought, it does have history of correcting itself, and it can correct itself pretty hard, right? So it's just important to be aware of that. Not that it should scare you, but just so you're not surprised that, hey, can something like Meta sell off 20 or 30%? It's done it in the past before, so yeah, you can't be surprised by that. Remember, Meta is a big tech company, but it's a company that is not only very well ran, but also a very strong performing company technically. The thing that I'm very impressed when it comes down to Meta is, even with this insane valuation and this insane rally that it's had for the past 2.5 years, it sits at a $1.8 trillion market cap, $717 per share. You guys know that I love talking crap on these overhyped up stocks, but its PE ratio is only 27 times its earnings. That's not that high. That's the average for big tech companies is around 25. Like, this is actually a pretty modest PE ratio. Like, I want to talk crap if I can, right? I think markets as a whole are overvalued. I think that there's kind of like this AI bubble going on, but nonetheless, the way that Meta is performing and the way that Meta is making money, it's a printing machine. One thing that I did ask Warren AI, which is one of investing.com's features, is that what should I know about Meta before it reports earnings? And it pretty much talked about the market's expectation. A series of analysts still view it as a strong buy, 62 analysts overall. And they're saying that they're implying a modest 5% of upside. So if that's something that you think is worth the risk, be my guest. Obviously, you don't want to trade just based off of an analyst's suggestion or opinion, but you can kind of weigh out your options of, hey, is it worth a 5% upside for what potential downside, right? So revenue momentum, Q2 consensus sees that revenue is at 44.72 billion, up from 42.31 billion in Q1. So what this is emphasizing is what the expectation is, right? from 42.31. Now the expectation for the following quarter is 44.72. And that's normally what you want to see. You want to see that the expectation of these big tech companies that are trading at a factor, at a multiple of what it is that they're actually valued at, that forecast always does align with the future guidance and future expectation. So yes, they are always increasing and raising the bar. And guess what? Meta does a great job always reaching and exceeding markets guided expectation. And I view that to be pretty impressive, right? Profit machine net margin is a dazzling 37.9% with EBITDA margins of 50.9%. EPS is projected to hit around 26 for 2025, and Citigroup Research has recently upped its 2025 EPS estimate to 31.87. So valuation for its P ratio sits at around 26.6 times its earnings. So not cheap, but reasonably aligned with historic big tech averages. The reason I wanted to show this is because I want you to compare it to other big tech companies. What's a really overvalued one in my opinion right now that doesn't just align with what it's actually valued at versus what the company produces? Tesla. Tesla trades at 170 times its earnings. From what the company is valued at to what the company actually makes as a business, there's a huge disconnect, right? If we pull up PLTR, this isn't to encourage you to sell, right? There's a lot of big tech companies or very overhyped up tech companies that have always traded at a pretty insane PE ratio. But this is just out of this world. 652 times its earnings when it comes down to PLTR. But again, PLTR is a very hyped up, it's one of the most hyped up companies in 2025, but it's also one of the best performing stocks in 2025. So it kind of aligns with the theme for 2025. Wouldn't you say that if you have a good story and you have good price momentum, you can do very well? So all of this is saying is that if you want to buy it at $160 per share, just be willing to pay a premium for it from what the company actually produces, right? So you're almost kind of just hoping to trade the stock, and I wouldn't say that any fundamental investor could make sense of buying Palantir at 160 long term. But again, maybe that's just my 2 cents. And Carvana is also a really good example of this. Carvana is a company that trades, I thought it traded at a crazier P ratio. That's not as crazy as I thought. I think it recently turned green. So 114 times its earnings. That's not what I thought that it was going to be. Let me show you this one. My favorite, MSTR. How could I forget MSTR? Negative 21.4 times its earnings. Why is it negative? Because this company actually loses billions of dollars every single year. I love throwing MSTR under the bus anytime I can. But nonetheless, 27.1 times its earnings. Very strong company fundamentally. If you look at the actual pro report that investing.com does provide you, if you actually have Investing Pro, you can click on the Pro Research button up here and they'll prompt it right for you. You can have a full understanding of how the revenue of the company has been growing, analyst targets, the overall price, and future valuation. If you want to understand how the company not only makes money, but how it spends it and how they get to their net profit. Again, I'm much more of a visual learner, and this does a beautiful job showing that, hey, 168.2 billion turned into 170.4 billion. This is the cost of goods, gross profit, research and development, operating profit, net profit, income tax, and breaks it all down for you, right? Then it also shows the series of income statements from 2021 to 2024. It just, again, visually, I can see that, oh, wow, look, from 2014 to where we are now, revenue-wise, this company is growing. But this is kind of like a perfect, pretty picture of what a company should be like, should kind of be like. I have nothing negative to say about Meta. It's a very well-ran company. It's investing a ton into its future, and they are very, what do I want to say, AI-focused and AI-driven. I actually really like the message that Mark Zuckerberg said when he was being interviewed. And he stated, he was asked the question of do you think that Meta is over investing into AI? And Mark Zuckerberg openly said, yeah, possibly. But the cost of over-investing into AI, which was billions of dollars a year, the cost of missing out by not over-investing is going to be much greater than whatever it is in the dollar amount that you over-invest by, falling behind. So what he pretty much was saying was, I explained that terribly, but pretty much saying that the cost would be so much greater if we were not so aggressively investing into AI to trying to be the leader in this space, because of what it would cost you to try to capture as much dominance in this space as possible. So if you don't invest enough in the beginning, you're just going to get left behind, and that cost is going to be so much greater than what you're currently, accruing as cost. So overall, Meta, very strong company, fundamentally, very strong company, technically. Do I think that it's overvalued? Or it's hard to say that it's overvalued when its fundamentals are so strong. How do I say this? No, I think that, just looking at the numbers, if you actually break down those statements, it's very clear that it's a very well-performing company. It's continuously growing quarter after quarter and year after year. It's hitting every marker that an avid investor would want to see, a company do, especially at this caliber. Like, I would say that Meta is a really good example, almost perfect example of what overhyped up tech companies should be looking like. Like, if you're gonna be overhyped up and overvalued, you should look like this, right? You should be printing money. Your margins should be huge. You should be exceeding Wall Street's expectation. But it's only companies really like Meta or like Google that continue to deliver like this, because they actually do make a ton of money, right? When you look at the overall breakdown of what this company actually makes, it makes 66 in revenue. It makes $170 billion. Like, that's insane, right? But its net income is $66 billion. So still insane amount of money that it brings in every single year. My only concern with this is that just where the market stands as a whole. It has nothing to do with Meta. It has more to do with the overall market. And that's going to be kind of my, how do I say this? My explanation for a lot of these breakdowns in the days that follow is that I don't believe that necessarily Meta is doing bad, but I think that the overall market as a whole, because of what's to come this Wednesday with the FOMC rate decision, I think as inflation is showing that it's rising, I think the overall macro environment of our economics is not going to be favorable to the overall market. And when overall markets begin to decline, it will drag down big tech companies like Meta with it, right? Just like when big indexes like the NASDAQ or the S&P 500 rally, it brings these big tech companies with it, and vice versa, right? Overall markets drop, it will bring down Meta with it as well, even though Meta hasn't done anything bad, right? They're still printing money, they're still exceeding expectation. They're not just trading and performing well, they're actually fundamentally doing well as well. So yeah, I like the stock. Do I think it's a cheap stock to buy right now based off of overall markets? Of course not, right? You have to acknowledge how much it's gapped up. You have to acknowledge the overall state of our overall market and how much retracement potential there is. Like, I don't believe there's any really good deals in the short term. I think in the short term, when retracements begin to happen, Meta is definitely one of those companies, because of how well it continues to exceed expectation, that it's on my watch list to buy more when deals actually present themselves. I'm not desperate to try to buy some at $720 per share, maybe because it could go to $750. I just don't care enough for that spread. I would rather wait for it to drop down to maybe 600 or 500 and invest in it long term, where I see a better deal presenting itself. I hope that makes sense, right? But if you want to be a little bit more aggressive and you want to buy before it reports earnings, be my guest. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. It's your money. I'm just here to talk to you about both the good and the bad, right? So I hope that you guys enjoyed my breakdown. I hope that it earned your thumbs up. Do not forget, we do plan to live stream Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon when they all report earnings this week. All you literally need to do is subscribe. So if you guys haven't also watched me trade live, that's the second link in the description down below where you can watch me trade live starting tomorrow. And second link down below will give you access to that. So I appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.